Well, now that the straw is all picked up, I think we can go ahead and get the autonomous tractor started in this field, start planting some barley, probably to feed the pig. That's what this crop is going to be for. The wheat will be for the chickens, the barley will be for the pigs, or hopefully pigs instead of just pig, and the oats, of course, for the horses. But yeah, the straw pellets already picked up, put into the heating plant, so we should get a little bit more income per hour. I've been down to the store, brought back the lime spreader that arrived, the honeycombs. I bought actually some more. I actually got one of the beehives full of honeycomb, and the other one, I think I could probably get another one or two in. We'll see how that goes, but the bees are producing honey rather fast, I think. And I also got the bucket, I think, for the honey extractor, so we'll see how that goes. As for here, we're doing pretty good on the apple trees. I'm thinking I need to get the manure out of the cows' paddock area, and also the horses, and try to top off as many apple trees as I can, because the manure seems to last a while in there. Rather than putting it into the greenhouses, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But the next step I need to do is I'm going to grab the combine harvester, and I'm going to harvest the canola that's behind the shed back here. I'm hoping I have enough room in the sheds to put the rest of the canola in. I think I got room for, let's see if I go to my tablet here. I got room for 60,000 liters, so I should be able to do that, I think. So the reason why I want to get that harvested first, because once the autonomous tractor is done planting the barley in that field, it can come over to this one if this field doesn't require anything, and plant down some soybeans. And after I get done harvesting this, I'm grabbing the 1000. The 1000 is already attached to our subsoiler, and I need to go ahead and get behind the chickens and get to that field and expand that field, because that field does require some lime, so I'm ready to go. I did have to spend, when I bought the lime spreader, I was like, well, I'm down here, so I went ahead and bought all the lime required for that, and it cost like somewhere around the vicinity of $4 grand. For all the lime, but that's a lot of lime that thing can hold, so hopefully it lasts a while. But if it doesn't, you know, we'll just have to refill it, because fields do require lime, and it's good to put the lime down because it increases the yield. I think the store says lime can increase the yield by 15%, something like that. So yeah, that's quite a bit. But I hope to get that field expanded. I did spend just a little bit of time this morning quickly looking over. So with Oliver's pig arriving, pigs pretty much prefer corn as their main meal, and I have no way to plant corn and all that stuff. So I've been kind of looking into that and how expensive it's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of different planters out there for corn. I mean, to save money, I could buy a small one, but then that's just going to take a lot of time to plant a field. Now, I don't need that much corn for one pig, but if I can have a few amount of pigs, then I'm going to require more corn, obviously. So I cannot see why he wouldn't want more pigs around his pig, but it's not my pig, so I don't know. But I'm hoping, yes, more pigs would be good. I'm not looking for an abundant amount of pigs. I'm just looking for, I don't know, like a dozen pigs, just enough to give me a little bit more manure, and slurry wouldn't hurt as well. So in the future, I can start maybe fertilizing the fields with some slurry once in a while. The manure, yeah, I need it for the apple trees and the greenhouses. And then after that, well, then I can probably spend manure on the fields as well, just to save a little bit of cash on fertilizer. But, in the long run, I mean, I do got to spend money on machinery to spread the slurry and manure, so yeah, it'll take a while to get my money back on spreading fields with fertilizer, animal fertilizer, rather than artificial fertilizer. It's one of those kind of things. But anyways, yeah, the money, let's see, we're getting ready to hit the top of the hour. We're at, I think we got about $4 grand right there. Yes, we did. That is pretty darn good. I like that. $4,000 in an hour just from property income. Now that's straw pellets, that's the greenhouses, that's the wind turbine, the solar panels, bringing in the cash. Now, yes, I still do owe $750,000 on a loan. I mean, yeah, and of course, I have like 250,000 liters of canola waiting to be sold, plus whatever we're going to add to it here shortly. So just waiting for the canola price to get to a really decent price. Actually, I kind of forgot what the price is. So when I go unload this first load here out of the combine, I'll have a quick look at the store page just to see how much they're offering for canola at the current stage. I mean, the money would be nice, but I also don't want to take a hit on selling it at a low side. That would not be wise. Alright, while I'm unloading here, yeah, canola $5.95 per 1,000. That's, yeah. I would like to see at least $7.25 or better. Wow, look at the price of soybeans right now. I may have to go sell those soybeans that I got. Over 1,000 per. I haven't seen that high since I don't know when. Or if I ever seen it that high. I mean, that's 25 grand right there. So yeah, I'm going to go out there and sell that. Oh, it's too bad I didn't have as much soybean as I do canola right now. That'd be flipping fantastic. So pretty good harvest of canola off this field here. I mean, the field's not that big. Let's see, this combine holds 18,000. I had a full combine the first time, almost a full one, so about maybe 34,000 liters of canola off this, I don't want to say a small field, but that's a pretty good harvest, I do believe. And now this field is all set, I think. Here, let me check my tablet here. Nope, does not need lime. And of course, the field that we're seeding right now, and there come the weeds. I gotta love that. I mean, it always seems to happen that the weeds grow just as I'm planting. Never fails. Alright, let me go ahead and dump this canola into the silo, and then I'm going to grab the 1,000 in our trailer. I'm probably too close to the silo for that to register. Yep. And fill the trailer up with that soybean and get on down to the store for that price. I don't want that price to change. Stock going down or anything like that, I hope. No, it's still staying there, so should be all good. I'm done with the combine for definitely today. I'm not going to need it anymore today, and probably not tomorrow morning either, so go ahead and fold it up, the header as well. I mean, maybe I'll bring it over and give it a good wash. Try to keep my equipment kind of in good condition here. Go ahead and unfold that. Lower it down. Hop up here and take off that PTO shaft, maybe. There we go. Fold up the combine so water doesn't get in there when I spray it off. I gotta be a little flexible to get down here and hitch this on up. Make sure you get the windshield of the combine so you can see better. And definitely clear up the gear area of the header is always very important. Alright, try not to park the combine too close to the wall like I always do. That should be good right there. Jump over that. I got the molasses from the store up here as well because I had to fill up the Primos before I used it this morning. Alright, definitely want to grab the 1,000 next. Bring that soybean on down to the store. Give us another 25,000 in the bank account. I really need to be thinking about getting all the equipment to start planting some corn sometime soon. Alright, bring that on out here. We'll just drop this off for now, because I will be using that very shortly. And actually, before I head on down with the soybean, I'll probably get the autonomous tractor on seeding the field that we just harvested. Put some soybean in that as well. There we go. All set, I think. Man, weeds. Weeds, weeds, weeds. I'll get the weeds later on after I finish planting the soybean in the field. Not wheat, not barley, not oats, not canola. Yeah, so got a good amount of canola. Run down here, get the autonomous tractor, get that set over to the other field, let that plant, and then eventually I'll be over the hill with the 1,000 expanding that field. I could expand that field rather huge, but I also don't want to put too much stress on what I'm doing here already. And why did my autonomous tractor miss a decent part of the field here? Weeds, weeds, weeds. Well, this will help out the bank account just a little bit. Sitting at 40 grand now because we just reached top of the hour once again and our property income has paid off nicely. Straw pellets and all. Now with a little extra soybean at just shy of 25 grand. While I'm down here, I probably should top this off with some fuel. Never hurts. Make your trips count. Well, before I go subsoil and expand the field, I need to come over here, put the weight on our small Fendt favorite, and I got the bucket on here. I'm going to grab some cow manure, bring it over to the apple trees so they can start producing some apples themselves. Bring in more cash that way. Just watching the autonomous tractor, make sure. I don't know why he missed some of the field like he did over there before on our cereal crop field, but it is what it is. It's not a big deal. And our pig pen awaits. Let's see how much cow manure we have here. But yeah, that kind of waiting to see what happens there with the pigs in the near future. Always hard to tell how much manure is actually in here. And I guess that's all we have for now. Excuse me, ladies. Don't back up. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a cow walk backwards, but I guess that they could. Maybe. I'm not sure. And let's go see what No Name and Freckles have been up to. I mean, they got some manure for me, I hope. I mean, this should be able to top, I don't want to say top off one tree, but at least get another tree up and running. And as long as the cows just keep producing manure, and eventually, you know, I think we'll start getting some newborns, some calves coming in. Expand the fleet of the cows. Actually, you know, fleet's not the correct word, obviously, but the herd? Yeah, I guess we can call it the herd. The herd of the cows. Whatever. Just talking to myself like I do every day here. Alright, let's see what the horses have up. That looks like a decent little pile for 2 horses in a couple of days. But in hindsight, when I find out how much it fills the bucket, not so much. But every little bit helps. Alright. All the trees should be, you know, have plenty of water. Okay. Yes, the only thing about filling these trees up is once you overfill them, it just spills everywhere. So to pick up the excess manure that you dropped on the ground can be a little bit tedious sometimes. Alright, I would like to get to that tree, but that's got a crate there, and I don't want to get manure in with the apples. Yep, okay, that's enough. Pick up the excess manure. I think these trees back here have water in them. Yep, they got water. And, whoops. Nope, not that one. Have more apple trees here than I thought. Did not fill that one. Alright, so it's only 2,000 liters of manure that they require. Yeah, that one's almost out of manure, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, I may have some extra there on the ground, but I'll pick it up at a later date. But that is all looking good. Actually, I'm going to leave this right here for now. Alright, so they should start producing. Yep, got some apples growing already, which is good. Yep, not that tree. This tree over here. Yep, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. So yeah, we got about five trees now producing some apples. How are the bees doing? The bees are doing fine. Yeah, so I haven't lost any bees. So I'm wondering why the input is showing me. I mean, is there a chance I can lose bees? I'm not sure. Alright, the greenhouse is doing well. How's the water doing? So it's used 25% of the water in 4 hours? 5 hours? Something like that? So I think it just every day I'm just going to have to water those greenhouses. It's a lot of water. Alright, so here I am in this field I created a long time ago, and I thought it was going to be too big. But now I'm getting ready to make it bigger. I'm just trying to figure out how much bigger I want to go here. And how I want to do it. Just to make sure I leave myself some room for tractors and whatnot to be... I don't want them getting stuck, basically. So this field does require some lime, so this is a good time to expand the field. I mean, this might be a little bit too big, but you know what? Just going to go for it. Just going to go for it. Well, it's not that huge of an expansion, but I think I'm just going to go with this for now. Because I feel like with only one autonomous tractor that I have at the current stage, we got plenty of work to do with the size fields that we have. So I don't want to go too big. But it doesn't matter, because in the future, like I did with doing this field right now, in the future, when it needs lime again, I could say, alright, things are working out well, let's expand the field a little bit more. And I'd rather go with just a small amount of fields that are really big, rather than going with a lot of fields that are small. Because I can set an autonomous tractor to work in a field like this, and leave it be for a few hours, rather than having to keep moving all the time to smaller fields. But I'm going to have to delete some of the files in the programming, because this field will have to be reset to different parameters. But I think this is going to work out well, like they all have, really. Everything's coming together. Especially buying this tractor. This tractor definitely was a nice, I don't want to say an upgrade, but because we didn't trade nothing in for it. But this tractor has allowed us to do a lot of things, like all the things that we have bought. Combine, the autonomous tractor was a huge help. Getting work done that I don't have to do. And of course the combine, yeah, I mean, we went from I think that was a 5-meter wide header that we had. And I think the header we have now is like a 12.5 meter. And of course, getting a combine that can hold, let's see, I think the New Holland we had held 5,000 liters, and the one we have now 18, so more than 3 times. Working smarter, not harder. That's what I'm trying to do anyways. And as for the other stuff we have around here now, like apples and honey, well, that's more food for myself, and I'm pretty sure the horses wouldn't mind having a few apples now and then. I am just kind of curious. So when I buy a planter, it's not going to be like the drill I have already, where that can just direct drill after harvesting. With a planter, I'm going to need to cultivate a field or smooth out the soil before I replant with a planter. I'm wondering if this subsoiler is good enough to be, flatten out the land well enough for a planter to work. If so, that could save me right now 50 grand or more. I'm a decent sized cultivator. And I'm only going to have to do that when I plant sunflowers and or corn. Definitely some corn, because that's what, pigs do really appreciate. I'm thinking I can get by with just the subsoiler. Now the thing with the subsoiler is I don't think the autonomous tractor has just enough, may have just enough horsepower to pull this. But I think this requires 400 horsepower. And I think the autonomous tractor is right there on the borderline. This tractor here has 510 horsepower, I do believe. But the land around here is relatively flat, so I might get away with the autonomous tractor being able to do subsoiling. So I would say that I'm expanding this field by maybe like 50%, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, probably a little bit more than that. I didn't think it was going to be that big, but it's one of those things you never know until you can actually see the outline and how it's looking. Yeah, it might be more than 50%. So it's going to help us out yield-wise, money-wise. As the autonomous tractor is done, I'll probably have to get that over and take care of those weeds. But after I get done subsoiling this, I'm actually going to grab the lime spreader myself and spread some lime here. Let the autonomous tractor take care of the weeds. But as for seeding, definitely the autonomous tractor will be over here seeding some. It's going to have to be soybean for now, just because, I mean, that's the crop that technically should go in here next. But until I can sell some canola, yeah, I don't have no place to put any more canola. So I may actually, even after next harvest of soybean, if I don't sell the soybean as well, and if I haven't sold the canola, I'm going to start planting some cereal crop, which means a lot of straw. Yeah, and that may be too much for the heating plant to take care of. Oddly enough, this morning, the heating plant took all of the straw pellets that I made off that field. But then again, I did use some to top off the cow's bedding, the horse's bedding, and I got some in the loading wagon in preparation for Oliver's pig, whenever the pig arrives. Just a little bit here as well. I mean, I really would like to expand this field a lot more, just that I think it's maybe getting to be too much. And I think I want to make sure I can handle what I'm doing here. There we go. Let me fold that up and bring that back to the shed, drop it off, grab the lime spreader, It's not going to take too long to yeah, I almost said plant lime, but put the lime on down. Now, I've been cutting through here, but since I put down that factory in a way, I got to come around the corner because I got a little bit of a cliff there, so I got to be careful of that. I probably should start putting up like some fencing around here. Always got work for myself to do. Alright, got the autonomous tractor doing its thing, weeding some, well, weeds. It's good to see our money up to 70,000. Which won't stay there too long, so I'm either going to, one, pay off a loan, or maybe start getting some equipment for planting some corn down. But I'm pretty sure with this may not be enough lime for this field here. But that's okay. Not using the smaller lime spreader, although that had a bigger area it covered. It only held like what's it hold? Like 3,000 or 4,000 liters. So hopefully I got more than enough in, you know, maybe I have more than enough in this. I'm not too sure. We'll find out eventually. But this is looking pretty good. I like getting the bigger fields, which means more yield, which means more crop, which means more income. But also the issue, a few things I kept in mind, not making the field too big. Not only can I, you know, do I have enough hours in a day so I can take care of this farm? The silos or silo that I have at the current stage, yeah, I'm starting to push it to the limit, only holding 300,000 liters. I mean, it's not that much to buy an extension for that silo, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I really am looking to buying a new silo system. One that best fits the equipment that I have, plus it'll hold a lot more, and also be able to store more different kinds of crop. That's kind of key in a way. Not that the crop that I'm going to be planting here soon won't fit into the silo we have, but this is straw pellets would definitely be key to be able to store at some point, because if I ever start planting cereal crops in the bigger fields, I can go ahead and store straw pellets in there. I'm not sure if I can store straw in those, but I guess I could. I think there is like a barn or something I could put straw into. I think I saw that in the store's webpage, so that's something I could look into later on. But yeah, I got a lot more things to look into first, like the planter. I don't think I need the cultivator. I'm going to have to try it, but I think I'm just going to buy a planter and the corn header for the combine. That's going to be expensive enough. We're talking like 200 grand right there just for those two things. The planter is going to be like 125, and the corn header itself is going to be like 60 to 70,000, somewhere in there for the combine. So yeah, it's kind of expensive. 200 grand for that. I mean, I could buy the planter first and then wait a couple days before I buy the header, because obviously I got to plant the crop first. There'll be a couple days before it's ready for harvest before I need the header. So there is that. Yeah, I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. Yeah, just not today, just because I don't have any fields that are set for planting corn, because I'd have to cultivate the field first or subsoil it. I never tried. I don't think I've ever thought about doing that with a subsoiler. See if I can use that to level out the field before the planter goes. Well, even though this piece of equipment did cost a good penny, I will say it was definitely worth it, not having to refill the spreader, running down to the store, coming back, and then having the autonomous tractor requiring, I mean, before I expanded the field, I think I had to refill the spreader like originally, you know, be full. Now I have to refill it maybe like 2, sometimes 3 times, somewhere in there, just to get the field finished. And now we expanded the field, and I'm just halfway through here. Halfway through on the load of lime that I have. So it all works out. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is not too bad. So I should, the autonomous tractor should get this field reseeded today. No problem. But I am probably going to take the rest of the afternoon off and just sit back in the cabin and just kick my feet up and just do a little bit of research. But I'm going to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Not do too much because there isn't much to do. All the fields are pretty much taken care of, except for this one right here that needs to be reseeded. But other than that, yeah, the fields are all set. And when tomorrow comes, I should have the big field down by the store and the one kind of next to it. Those should be ready for harvest actually in the morning. I was thinking, well, it should be in the afternoon, but I think it's actually going to be in the morning, which is good. But just that, you know, the price of soybean is really good now. So I assume when tomorrow morning comes, the price is going to drop quite a bit. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate for timing, but you know, can't control pricing. But we'll store it. We got plenty of room in the silos. I can store 300,000 liters because we got empty silos of soybean. And soybean doesn't yield as good as canola does, so I should be able to make it fit all in there. And who knows, maybe tomorrow the canola price will be good. But I would like to double check tomorrow morning on the bees and maybe get some of that done, and maybe bring down some apples as well to the store just to have some income coming in. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I know what to do with the money I got now. I don't have that much kind of money for a planter, but it's all fine. It's all good. Just want to keep checking on the bees to see what they're doing here. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the output situation. Six. So if 6 are full and I have 5 left, I don't know. Not quite figuring that out too much. I'm just going to go by the indicator bar. When it tells me it's full, I'll whip out the honeycombs. I mean, can I actually see which ones are full, or... I mean, how does this actually work here? Yes, it's active. 1 liter an hour? That's what they make for honey? Alright, that doesn't sound like a lot, so... yeah, it doesn't really give me an option to pull out the honeycomb. Interesting. I mean, open and close cover, yeah, I know how to do that. Open the product menu, which is here. Bees are good. Empty honeycombs, full honey. Oh, I can click. Okay. Oh, it spawns pallets. Okay. All right. Yep. Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna wait until tomorrow when I got much. I want to make sure I got tons of honey when I do it. I just want to do a little at a time. I think the autonomous tractor should be done with weeding that field, so I need to move it on over and get seeding some soybeans. And then, yeah, I'll go into the cabin and relax for a while, and yeah, my tablet will buzz when he's done. Or when it's done. I keep saying when it's done. And the farm will be kind of quiet the rest of the evening. Maybe I'll take the horses out for a trot later on. That won't be too bad of an idea in the evening hours when it cools down a little bit more.